Okay, I see everyone joining slowly. There's gonna be a small lag here and there. So if you guys ask questions, it might show up 2 minutes later. So, hi Amita. How are you? I wish I could like talk back and forth with you guys. Hi Peter. Okay, I'm gonna wait like a minute or two before we get started just to let everyone join the video. That'll give people time, I think. But yeah, I have a whole setup here. I have all the ingredients ready to go, so I'm gonna walk you through it. Thank you. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna wait 1 or 2 more minutes before we get started, and then I will explain my video. My mom's in the background, so you're gonna hear her talk on the phone. Hi, Sharvina. Hi, everyone. Okay. I'm gonna wait till we get at 10, and then we'll start. Give me 1 second. Oh, that's cool. All right. Hi, Sharvina. Okay. All right, I think it's safe to get started. So, first of all, hi everyone, my name is Mary Isaac. Many of you may know me. I was the former president of ASA of LA, the Syrian Student Association of Los Angeles, and now I try to volunteer as much as I can with the Syrian organizations. I'm just working and studying full-time at UC Irvine, so I'm trying to do my research there. But I really enjoy any opportunity I can to work with AAASC and any of the Syrian organizations, because this is my passion. I'm a Syrian, I love the community, and I'm really happy to be able to give back in a way with this recipe and with this fun tutorial, I guess. So first of all, thank you to AAASC and Deanna specifically for inviting me to do this. She clearly knew that I wanted to be a famous YouTuber one day. And I also, in addition to studying full-time at UCI, I do run a small business. I have my own little bakery. It's called Mary's Baked Goodies. You can check us out on our Instagram page, marys.baked.goodies. So you can see all of our cool baked goods there. So Deanna and AAASC asked me to do something healthy. Usually I bake very buttery, very chocolatey goods. So for this segment, I'm going to stray from what I typically do and bake a gluten-free, vegan, sugar-free, dairy-free, I think that's all the frees, Kileche, which is a classic Assyrian dish. I figured there's enough healthy recipes online on BuzzFeed and Tasty. You guys can find all those vegan brownies, those zucchini cakes, whatever, but there's no Assyrian healthy recipe, so I thought I'd make a healthy Kileche. And this is what they look like. Let me show you guys. I baked a batch before so we can compare before and after. It is like a rolled dough. There is date filling in between. And yeah, it's very, very delicious. As someone who does eat a lot of sweets and eat a lot of cake and fattening goods, so all the buttery ones, I can honestly say that this vegan version of Kileche is so good. It's so, so good. I was shocked too. So I know you guys are hesitant to cook vegan, or anyone is out there who's a little scared of using coconut oil instead of butter. This is such a good recipe, and I promise you will love it. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on the dough first. So what I'm gonna do is walk you through the dough part. I have my big KitchenAid here. And then I'm gonna walk you through the filling part, which is the stuff you see in between. It's date filling. I'll actually do that with you guys. It takes 5 minutes, but the dough part, we're gonna do it together. We're gonna put it in the fridge for 30 minutes to an hour, but I already have a dough prepared that I'm gonna take out and get ready because Obviously, I'm not gonna wait for an hour for the dough to get like hard and stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna start walking you through. I guess that's good enough of an introduction. And yeah, okay, for the dough, we're going to need 1 cup of almond flour. I have it all packed and ready to go here. If you don't know what almond flour is, it's literally just almonds ground up to be this really fine powder. So there's no other ingredients in it. It's very healthy, very like pure. So we're gonna dump that into our mixing bowl. And next, we're gonna use 1 1/4 cup of brown rice flour. Now, brown rice flour, what do you think it is? Literally rice ground up, very fine. And I use this brand, Bob's Red Mill, gluten-free. I'm gonna do the blogger thing where we like, you know, show it. Yeah, gluten-free brown rice flour. And it's stone ground, so it's super fine. It looks like this. Let's see if we can, yeah, it looks like this. We're gonna throw that into our mixing bowl again. Okay, up next, we need the small, finer ingredients. So this, we want 1 teaspoon of salt. Kosher salt is good. I think you can use whatever salt, pink Himalayan salt if you want to. Anything works. We also need 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/4 of a teaspoon of cardamom. This is gonna give your dough the flavor it needs that without butter it doesn't get, you know what I mean? So if we're gonna do this whole vegan, I'm gonna show you the bowl that I'm mixing in. Give me 1 second. Okay, so there's the KitchenAid, as we can see. Okay, so I'm just adding the smaller ingredients in here. So let's see what else. So I added those. And like I said, since this is a vegan recipe, it's not gonna have as much flavor as butter gives, because butter is like what gives these doughy recipes and desserts that really good flavor. So instead, we're gonna substitute it with the cardamom and cinnamon. It's going to make the dough very, very tasty. And you're not even gonna think about the missing butter or the missing ingredients, okay? So after we've added our teaspoon of salt and our 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and cardamom, we're going to add our coconut oil. Coconut oil right here. I bought this big old jug from Sam's Club, and it's organic and it's really great. But what we need to do, we need to scoop out 4 or 6 tablespoons of coconut oil. And this is rock solid right now, right? Because that's how it comes. But we're gonna have to melt it. So when you melt it, it actually comes out to a different amount. So we're gonna melt it in the microwave, and then I'm gonna spoon from this bowl 6 tablespoons. So give me 1 second. Okay, got my tablespoon. Okay, yes. So I have that here. 1 tablespoon, that's 1 tablespoon. If you don't bake regularly, tablespoon is a big old heaping thing. It's actually bigger than I thought it was. But yeah, we're gonna do 6 of those. I'll show you the process since we're doing this live. Okay, I'm gonna scoop it out. That's 2, that's 3, 4. I'm being very generous because, again, once this is melted, we're gonna go back and scoop out the melted oil. And 6. Ooh, look at so much. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna melt this in the microwave. Usually I don't like microwaving. I'm that type of person who will eat like 50 chocolate chip cookies and still think the microwave is very bad for you. I know it's really weird, but I don't like microwaving, but for the sake of time, I'm gonna do it. And usually you could just cook it over the stove. It'll be fine there. Yeah. Literally 15 seconds is all it needs, and now it's this very melted pool. It melts so fast. On a hot summer day, coconut oil melts. Like, you don't even need to put it over any fire. It has a very, I don't know if it's a low or high melting temperature, but either way, you get the point. Sorry, let me get a paper towel. Okay, I'm gonna use our tablespoon again to measure 6 melted tablespoons of coconut oil. After the end of this, I'll recap the ingredients list for the dough, don't worry. And then I'll also post it, it's posted on my story, and it's also posted on AAASC's page. You'll see it there, but for the dough, there's different measurements. I just put all of the ingredients on AAASC's page so that when you go out and buy stuff, you can buy all of the measurements, but for the dough, it's a little different. So I'll put it up on my page, and then you guys can find it there. Okay, so I'm gonna spoon these into the mixture. 2, 3, 4. I feel like that owl that's counting. 5. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? And 6. Okay. We got 6. See, there's still so much leftover coconut oil, so melted coconut oil versus solid coconut oil is different. Okay, next we need 1/4 of a cup of maple syrup. Okay, so I put honey, but I realized not a lot of people think honey is vegan. So you can use maple syrup. I prefer maple syrup. It is very liquidy, and it helps bind all of the ingredients together. Honey is stickier. It also helps bind all the ingredients together, but it also has a good flavor. So if you like the flavor of honey and you don't really care about that honey vegan or not, then use honey. If you have honey, use honey. The maple syrup is not in everyone's kitchen. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with maple syrup today. So 1/4 cup maple syrup, and we're gonna throw it into our mixing bowl. And then we need milk. Okay, so the last step in making our dough, again, it's to bind all the dry ingredients, is milk. You can use whatever milk you want. Yeah, any kind of milk option. Almond milk, oat milk, soy milk, dairy milk, like real milk. I'm gonna use oat milk. It's what I have at home. It's what I like to drink. You can use whatever, so don't be shy. It just needs a little bit more liquid in the dough to help bind the dry ingredients together. Okay, 2 tablespoons of this, okay? Oh, okay, I spilled a little, that's okay. I'll do it over the bowl this time. I wanted to just show you the process. The process of pouring milk into a spoon. Okay, so now that you know how to do that, we're gonna put our dough hooked together right here. Okay, let's angle this. I got a tripod for this cool baking segment, so I can be very professional. Okay, so I have my KitchenAid. Like I said, it's not necessary to have a KitchenAid. I just love this thing. It's my baby. It's the best investment I've ever made in my life. You can use a regular hand mixer. You can also mix it with your hands. The first time I made these, I mixed it with my hands. Came out just fine. You just want all the ingredients to stick together very well. Okay, I'm gonna use this dough hook. I'm also gonna mix a little bit of them in here first. I know the KitchenAid is literally built to do all this for you. I still like to do this step and just starting the process for my little KitchenAid. Okay, I'm gonna put it in here. This part is gonna get a tad loud, so bear with us. Any questions or comments, please message them into the chat if you have any questions while this dough shakes and mixes. Hold on. Okay, back to normal. Still mixing. Hi everyone. Okay. good. It's been mixed up enough. It's time for us to just do the rest of the work and form it into a cute little dough ball. So I'm gonna take it out. What's your favorite treat to bake? Oh, good question. Nazuk. Yeah, Nazuk. So my favorite treat to bake. It is a workout. It is so fun. It's so like rewarding because the whole process is so like long and tedious, but it's just like you make this beautiful cookie that has all those rolls in between. And it's my favorite recipe is my great aunt's recipe. I used to like eat like 10 as a kid. I just like pound them when I was young, and I thought like her nazuk are way better than anyone else's. No offense, but I was obsessed. Even in the grocery stores, you couldn't find anything like her nazuk. So she taught me how to make them, and now I love making them. It just feels so like pure, wholesome to have that traditional nazuk, and yeah, that's my favorite treat to make. Thanks for asking, Belbra. I like questions, so please ask any questions you guys have. Okay, so we formed our dough ball. I want to show you the dough ball, and I want to show you my hands. Look how oily they are. That's okay. The dough ball is supposed to be very oily, right? Because it's full of melted coconut oil. But don't worry, it's not like that bad. It's not bad for you at all. Because we didn't put that much, and you need the oil to bind all these ingredients together. Usually you would use butter, but again, we're using a much healthier ingredient to do this. Okay, so I have perfectly rounded my dough ball. We're gonna put this to rest for 30 to 60 minutes in the fridge, and in the fridge it's gonna get hard, because right now you see it's like oily, it's soft, it's squishy. But we want it to be a little hard so that when we roll out the dough, when we put the filling in, it works with us. I'm gonna explain when we actually take out the dough, what happens in the process of putting the filling on, because again, this isn't a regular dough that has gluten in it. Gluten is a protein that helps everything bind together. It's what helps things stick, and it's what helps the dough be stretchy. So when you try to stretch this dough out, it doesn't work the same as a regular dough. So we want it to be hard so it has the same properties. Yeah, I'm getting scientific on you. It has the same properties as a gluten-y dough. So I'm gonna put this in the fridge. You use one of these plates or bowls. And I'm gonna take out my other fridge, or my other dough. Be right back. Here's my other dough, baby. It's been sitting in the fridge for half an hour. Actually, an hour. It's been quite a while. So it's hardened. Do you see it's hardened? It's not as squishy as it was with the other dough. So I'm gonna let this sit out at room temperature for like the next 10 minutes while we go make our filling. We want that to be cold and hard, but we don't want it to be like frozen rock hard either. We want it to be able to spread, but we want it to be able to spread and spread well. I'll show you what I mean later. Okay, let's move over to the stove area, and we're gonna go make our dates. In 1 second, actually. I'm gonna show you something. Wait a second. Okay, just to recap, the dough was 1 cup of almond flour, 1 1/4 cup of rice flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 of a teaspoon of cardamom, 2 tablespoons of milk, any kind, and 6 melted tablespoons of coconut oil, and, what was it? Maple syrup. 1/4 cup of maple syrup or honey, your choice, okay? So that was the dough. Again, the ingredients are all up on my story. I'll share them later. And now we're gonna make the filling. So the filling is kind of fun. It's a cool process. So what I've gone ahead and done to get us started, what's your favorite non-Assyrian thing to bake? Oh, that's a good question. I'll answer that in a second. Because I need to think about that. Yeah, Bertil, I'm gonna send you some because I'm gonna make a lot today, so I will give you some. So our dates, we need, okay, let me start this over. for the date filling, we need 1 cup of dates, pitted. That means they don't have the pit in them. These ones still have the pit in them, so we need to cut them out. We need 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, 1½ teaspoons of cardamom, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder. I know that's weird, right? But cocoa powder kind of helps dilute the other flavors because, in my opinion, cardamom and cinnamon are a little strong for me, for my taste. My mom would prefer I put like a whole pound of cardamom, but that's, yeah, we have different tastes, so I'm gonna put cocoa powder. I recommend you do too to kind of mitigate the very spicy flavor of the cardamom. And then we need 1/4 cup of water. I know, I'll say that again. 1 cup of dates, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom, and 1/4 cup of water. I'll show you later. So we're gonna pit our dates, like I already have. I'm gonna show you how to pit a date if you don't know how. Basically, you just take the date and you cut it open. And you want to take this stuff out. You want to take the seed. It's a big seed. You don't want it in your spread at all. You want to take off the top because sometimes the top still has that that seedy tree part left over to it. So we're gonna do that. Oh, I've pitted that one already. I was gonna show you how to pit them, but looks like I've done most of them for you already. Yeah. Okay. So we've pitted our dates now. Okay, cool. So we want 1 cup of these. When I throw them all into a cup or into a measuring cup, this is all 1 cup. They're all pitted. And now I have all my ingredients ready to go here. I have the teaspoon, or 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder right here. So we're gonna add them all into that pot and we're gonna cook them because we're gonna make our date paste. So I'm gonna take this over. Let's do this. Sorry guys. I am new at using a tripod. All right, let's go. Oh, that didn't work. Okay. Let's take us over here so you can see the stove. You guys see the stove? I hope the service still works. There's like a perfect spot in my kitchen where service and Wi-Fi is good. And then right here it gets a little spotty, so let me know. I'll be right back. Okay. We have our dates, which we're gonna put right here. I'm gonna throw them all into our pot, okay? Now I'm gonna put 1/4 of a cup of water. I know this is like a huge jug. I wish I had like a smaller jug, but it's okay. It's okay. All right, perfect. 1/4. It could be 1/4 or 1/2, depending on, you know, how long your dates take to cook. I'll show you the process. This is kind of a lengthy process, but I do want to walk you through it because I think that if you're making it your first time without trying to without seeing a video for it, you're gonna be confused and you're not gonna know when it's ready. So I'm gonna walk you through the whole process. It's gonna take like 5 minutes, and I'll show you how the dates cook over time, and then we're gonna squish them. Okay, we're gonna go crazy. Okay, we're gonna get them to be a really nice paste, and I'll show you how. It's gonna look something like this. It's literally like a paste, right? So the reason this is sugar-free is because all of the sugars come from the dates. They're super sweet. I added all of my spices, as you just saw, and we're gonna let them simmer first, and then we're gonna start hitting them, like I said, squishing them, or whatever it's called. I don't wanna use any violent terms, but it is what it is. We have to be a little aggressive here. So slowly, it's gonna start simmering. I will show you the process as best as I can with this angle. Let's see. Let's work this out. I got this. Okay. Bring it closer. Okay, I think you can see the pot. It's just a little obstructed by the comments, so I'm not sure if you see it, but comment, please, and let me know if you want me to change the camera setting in any way, and I'll try to make it work for you guys. Okay, we see it simmering, right? This is when we need to start going crazy. You need to hit them and squish them because they are simmering now, and this is the opportune moment to get them to turn into that paste. So we're gonna squish, 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 squish. Squish them like they're your worst, least favorite bug. I don't know. Whatever you wanna do, just let this be kind of fun, okay? Because every time you bake, it's a fun thing. Baking is not like cooking. Cooking is very stressful, and there's a lot that goes into cooking, but baking is supposed to be really fun, okay? I want you guys to have fun with this. Okay, so we see it like hardening. Do you guys see this? Okay. The water is dissolving. It's being absorbed by the dried dates, and this means we need to work harder, but it also makes the squishing part a lot easier. So I don't know if you can see it. I keep getting more, I think. Okay, we're almost done. We could put more water. Honestly, that helps. We start with 1/4 cup, and we can increase that to make sure the date paste is like a nice, it's not too liquidy, but it's thick and it's all spread out. So in this part, I know you can't see my face because I want you to see this. In this part, you can keep squishing them and do this the old-fashioned way, or you can throw them in a blender and you can, you know, when you blend it, it's obviously going to be a much smoother paste, and you can totally do that. I just like doing the old-fashioned method for an old-fashioned recipe. And honestly, I don't know if a blender can handle all this stickiness. Depends on your blender, so I'm not going to risk it with mine. Our blender's a little ancient, like this recipe. Just kidding. I'm not going to mess with it. So I'm going to do it this way, which is perfectly fine. You see it is getting, it's getting really hot. I have the window open to help blow the air. But yeah, the paste is really forming well here. And we are just about done. I'm going to keep absorbing that water. Almost done here. Keep squishing. I like a wooden spoon. Again, that's so traditional, right? You guys have like a bunch of wooden spoons in your house? Well, if you live, you know, with Assyrian parents or an Assyrian family member, I feel like that's all we use is wooden spoons. Okay. I think this paste has reached the perfect consistency. I don't think it needs to be squished anymore. So I'm going to take it out of the pot here, and we're going to transfer it into a small bowl. Give me 1 second. Okay. Transferring it to a bowl now. I'll show you the process. This is what it looks like. Right here. Okay, it's like this very thick paste. You can still see some of the, let's see, insides of the date. That's okay. It's very natural. It's very good this way. You still have like the nice pieces. If you don't like dates that much, maybe you can use figs as a substitute. Figs are still sweet and stuff. I think they may be a little more on the sour side, but this date is the perfect consistency for our kileche. But if you, like I said, if you don't like it, try figs. Try something else that you do like. Like I said, it's supposed to be a fun process, and in general, it's supposed to come out the way you like it. So if you, like I said, try to do whatever you want. Okay, but for now, we got our date paste ready to go. I'm going to get our dough ready to go, and we are going to start spreading out the dough to get ready for the date paste that we just made. Okay, all right. Any questions? Someone did ask me what my favorite non-Assyrian thing to bake is. What's my non-favorite non-Assyrian thing to bake? Bundt cakes. Yeah. Bundt cakes are really good. Brownies, cookies. Actually, oh my gosh, I'm lying to you guys. My chocolate chip cookies are like my favorite thing in the world. Okay, this is the part where we want to put our hair up because this is where it all goes down. Okay, put my hair up for a little bit. Okay, so let's get our dough. Remember our dough that we took out of the fridge that we left there for 30 to 60 minutes? Okay, it should be about ready to start spreading. Now let me explain this again. This vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free dough is a lot harder to work with than regular dough because it does not have the protein and the gluten that regular flour and buttery desserts have. It's not as stretchy, it's not as spreadable. So we're going to have a couple of moments where we do surgery on our dough. This is what I like to call it. So when we go in, we fix it, we patch it up because when we're spreading it, it's gonna crack. So I'll show you how it's done. And then we're also going to, I'll walk you through it as we go. So let's put some flour and gluten-free flour on our thing. I'm gonna make it on the foil that I'm gonna use to cook it. I'm gonna flour this. You can use as much as you want. It's good because we don't want it to stick too hard to the thing, to the mat or to the cutting board or to whatever board you're using to spread the dough, okay? So we have it here. I still think it's a little hard, but it's okay. We're gonna try it, and then if we need a few more minutes, I will ask you guys to ask me questions, and that's how we're gonna pass the time. Here's our handy dandy roller. I also think this can use a little flour on it, so that when you're spreading it, it helps spread the dough better. Hi Jolene, it's my little cousin. Okay, so we're gonna start, yeah, it's still really hard dough. I think it's gonna crack. We can massage it a little bit in order to kind of heat it up, because our hands have heat, obviously, in case you didn't know. And we're going to let it spread. So now that it's a little bit more warmed up, because I had kept this in the fridge for a lot longer than 60 minutes. Okay, I think it's good now. I think it'll spread a little bit better. But you may have the same problem that I have anytime amount, because like I said, the dough is not as easy to work with. But it turns out so well. You have to put a little bit of like blood, sweat, and tears into this to come out with such a good gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free kileche. Like this is not done easily, okay? It takes that heart and it takes that effort. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna put this here. Yeah, it's starting to spread, but you really wanna be gentle. I'm gonna show you how it cracks so you know what I mean when we say we have to do a little bit of surgery on this dough. Okay, let's go in there. You see it slowly starting to spread out. This is a good sign. It's a very cooperative dough. I like to talk to my dough like it's my friend. You guys, like I said, have fun with it. It's supposed to be a fun thing. And your dough is your friend. You're gonna eat them later and it's gonna taste delicious, so it's gonna make you really happy. So you wanna obviously treat it right and you want it to look the way you like it. See, we have a crack here. I don't know if you guys can see that. We're gonna fix that crack. Just a little bit of your heat to kind of put it together. All right, crack has been fixed. Moving back to the spreading. If you guys are doing this with me, please message me and let me know what's going on your end of the kitchen. Tell me if you are having the same issues with the dough that I always have, and we can get you on this Instagram live with me right now, and we can just work it through if you are doing it with me. So let me know. Hi, Marianne. Thank you for joining. All right, look, it's starting to be a very nice, thin, rectangular dough. I think this is good enough. I will take my camera out of the tripod real quick just to show you the kind of like thickness level and all that stuff. Give me one sec. Okay. Ooh, let's flip this around. Okay. So here we have the dough. It's spread out. You see, it's a little thick. It's not too thin because it's not gonna spread the way regular doughs will. So we want it to be thick so that when we throw it back together, oh yeah, you saw like my mess behind the scenes. We throw it back, it's going to be cooperative, you know? I'll show you how that works in the next step. Oh, they should really make these tripods a little easier to work with. Just saying. Okay. I have the dough spread out. Now we need the date filling, okay? Here it is. Here's our date filling. It's very, very hefty. We're gonna take some of the date filling. We're gonna spoon it onto the dough. And look, you can use the date filling right after it comes out of that pot that we just did, because when it is hot, it's a lot easier to spread than it would be if it were like a cold date paste. See, right now it has this very spreadable texture to it, or consistency to it. So it makes it super easy. We're gonna get it to all corners of our dough. I'm gonna turn this light down. It's blinding my eye. Oh, that's better, natural lighting. Thanks, Jolene, for letting me borrow your lighting system. Jolene is a professional YouTuber, whereas I am a wannabe professional YouTuber. Actually, she's good at TikToks, I'm not. Okay, more date paste to get it on all four corners of our dough. And if you guys can see it from all the way up there, I will show that there are still some of the insides of the date. You can take them out. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I never take them out. If you, you know, are very like particular about, you know, you don't want to taste a chunk or anything like that. Like you said, you don't really love dates, but you will try this recipe because you think it's kind of okay, then take those insides out. But if you're okay with dates, you like the flavor, you like the taste, leave them in. It's not a big deal. They're really good. And they're not hard. They're not gonna like break your teeth. No, they're just they're just a little chunkier. Okay, this is the hard part. Okay, so this is when we're gonna roll our dough into the form that we have it in our baked dough. It's gonna have that kind of like swirliness. But this is the hard part. Remember, I've been warning you guys this entire time that this dough is not as easy to work with as regular doughs are. With that being said, we're gonna need to be slow. We're gonna go through it, and we're gonna like patch up and do surgery wherever we need to make sure the dough is connected. And I'll show you how it breaks, if it breaks during this video, and I'll show you what to do to get out of it, okay? All right, let's start. So we're just gonna flip the inside of this over. We're gonna squish it down, okay? And then keep flipping slowly the next bit. You see how we're flipping it? Okay, yeah, you guys see that? You guys can't respond. I wish you guys had like, it was like an audience that I can like talk to. Because I wanna like engage with you guys. And we're slowly going through this. Look, we already have a patch that has been cut. what are we gonna do, guys? We're gonna do surgery. See, we're gonna patch it up together with the warmth in our hands, and because the dough is so like, it can be very like wet and oily, it works really well when we just patch it up together, okay? So let's keep going on this. You can use this to help push the dough up, right? So you can use this, it's no big deal. It's actually more helpful when you have the sheet going with you. So let's keep pushing this up. We're almost there, almost at the end of this. I'll show you here. And it's getting a little choppy here. We're gonna have to do some surgery. We're gonna paste it together. Not to worry. You're going to deal with this when you do this. Don't freak out, don't lose hope. It's gonna be okay in the end. It's gonna taste delicious, I promise. Okay, so we have the dough rolled up. We have some areas where it's cracked, where we're just gonna go back in and fix them. Not a big deal. I just want you guys not to like freak out when you do this, because when I first did this, I was freaking out. I was like, this dough is not cooperative and it's really weird. But you have to like, you have to remember what I've said to you, okay? Remember my wise words, my friends. Remember. Okay, this dough is not too bad. It's actually really great. And now, I've done enough of the like patchwork that needed to be done to kind of get this ready to be cut up. Now this is the real surgery. This is the real cut. It's going under the knife. We're gonna cut them. I'm sorry, I'm using like weird. Okay, we're gonna cut the ends off. No one wants the ends. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, no offense. These have like not too much date dressing in them, or these don't have as much date filling in them, so we don't need them. They're the ends, they get cut off, sorry. But we want our kileche to have just as like good of a swirl as the next piece. And we want them to have enough date filling in each piece to have that perfect taste. Okay, you'll see. You see the swirl? Yeah, that's the beautiful thing you're going for. See this one? Yeah, we're gonna like pat. It doesn't need too much work. It's got enough. When these bake, let me tell you. See, this one has a crack too. It's not a big deal. So don't worry about the cracks in the dough, and don't worry about if it's like falling apart, because it's such a strong dough and it cooks so well in the oven. It does really well. So we're getting these ready to go. I use a butter knife to cut. You can use anything. The dough is so soft that you can use a butter knife. It's super smooth, easy to cut through. No need to use any other kind of knife. But if you got those cool knives, use them. Why not, baby? Okay. See, look at these beautiful swirls. It's like cinnamon rolls, but healthy, non-cinnamon rolls. And this is actually how nazook look. Ooh, good question, Rose. This is how nazook look because they're a rolled cookie. They have like the filling in between. So in this dough, we created about 8 pieces, okay? And this was just half of the dough that we made. So in total, you're gonna get 16 to 18 pieces depending on the size that you cut them, okay? So now that we have our doughs cut up, our kileche ready to go, I'm gonna put this sheet onto a baking tray and throw it in the oven at 350 degrees for just 20 minutes. For just 20 minutes, okay? Any more than that, it may dry it out, but this was 20 minutes, and it's not a hard dough. It's got like a good texture, but the inside of it, I'm gonna cut the inside just to show you. The inside of it is so soft. So 20 minutes at 350 degrees is the perfect thing. Oh my gosh, this was like the best reveal. Look at that. Look at that. It's got the rows, the layers of the date filling, and it's just so pretty. Yeah, clearly I'm obsessed with baking. I'm obsessed with my own baked goods. That's a good thing. You should be obsessed. You should be proud of your dough. Okay, I keep looking at them like it's so proud of these guys. They're gonna taste so good. You guys are gonna love them. So, these are gonna go in the oven, again, 350 degrees for 20 minutes. Then they're gonna come out perfectly fine. If you'd like, you can use sesame seeds and you can like put the sesame seeds on top, squish them in a little bit. I don't like sesame seeds. You can do that. You don't have to, but if you want that cool look, you like sesame seeds, put them on there and bake them in the oven. Another thing, you could use nuts if you like. Up to you. I don't like walnuts that much, but you can do it. This is just a suggestion to those who really like walnuts and nuts in their desserts and want to make this more proteiny. So you can see it's getting so much healthier as we go. So that's about all I'm gonna do for today. Oh, I've taken up quite a bit of time. That's okay. It takes maybe like 45 minutes to do all from end to beginning. If you refrigerate your dough, obviously it's gonna add like 30 minutes to it. You can refrigerate it, go work on your date filling, come back and do the whole like spread the dough and put the filling in. I think after you finish your date filling, you wait a few minutes, it'll be 30 minutes. So this whole process can be done in one sitting. I think it should take 1 hour max, and you end up with 16 to 18 really healthy pieces of kileche. And they're really good. They're really the perfect texture. I'm telling you, for being vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, they're perfect. I'm obsessed, okay? So I'm going to end this video now, unless you guys have any questions. I'm gonna wait for a second. Also, if you're an OC, I may or may not drop these off at your house, so please message me if you wanna try one, okay? Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a minute if there's any more questions. Thank you, Bridget. Hi, Belle. I really thank and appreciate everyone who joined today, and thank you again to AAASC for inviting me to do this. This was so fun. I thought it was such a great idea of AAASC to do this. All of the women who spoke today and who had their live sessions today were just incredible. How amazing is it that our community is filled with such powerful and amazing women. Really just an amazing wellness retreat overall. Well done, AAASC. Love you guys. I will always help in any way that I can. And yeah, so just message me if you guys have any questions. Follow my Instagram page, marys.baked.goodies at marys.baked.goodies. And yeah, stay tuned. I'll bake you guys stuff in the future. And thank you so much. Hope you have a great day and stay well, okay? Bye.